going on, Jerome's? So it's really unfortunate that it's only week 4 and we have to have the stupid tanking conversation already. Now, our stance on tanking is pretty clear. I would prefer that my team goes out and tries to win a football game, and until the team is mathematically eliminated, I want the team to win. And even after they are, just because you're drafting higher does not guarantee you're going to have a better prospect, right? You draft where you draft, and the name of the game is actually taking good players, which, I don't know. Do you guys trust Kwesi? It sounds like you don't in the comments, but it's weird because all 4 it's not undefeated, undevictoried, sure, teams play each other this weekend. You got Vikings at Carolina, and Carolina's first round draft pick goes to the Bears. Cool. And then the Bears and the Broncos play each other, right? So all this stuff, blah, 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 tank, blah, 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 lose out. I fully understand that because as a quasi-USC fan, I understand the allure of Caleb Williams. I understand Drake May. I understand Michael Penix Jr. I understand all the fantastic quarterbacks in this year's draft. But it just seems like every single year, like the people say, hey, just lose games, get a high draft pick, finally get your quarterback, blah, 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 blah. If only it worked like that. Like, it's almost like people think this is the NBA, where there's like 1, maybe 2 impact players at every single draft. Like, there's 7 rounds, bro. Like, there's 50, 60, 70 players every single year that make a difference. Like, there ain't no LeBron in this draft, even though, yes, Caleb Williams is potentially going to be a stud. But all this tank. I mean, it'd be one thing if it was just a brand new notion, but it's not. Like, if everyone was all of a sudden, hey, let's tank for Caleb Williams, but you guys were on board for tanking last year. Like, at the bye week last year, y'all were saying, oh, the Vikings are 5-1, could go 5-12, and you're trying to tank for Bryce Young? Nah, man. So, no on that. And we're bringing it up. So we put in the community tab a little something where what bothers me the most about the people who want to tank. Now, I understand the logic. Hey, get yourself a future franchise quarterback and then go from there, right? And everything will be hunky-dory for a decade plus. But the fact that it's not correlated, that's what bugs me. Like, this isn't an instant path to success. And the fact that fans who just want to enjoy the game, hey, win one for the Gipper, make your day a little bit better, they get ridiculed. So we put in the community tab, you can want the team to tank, that's fine, but do not ridicule fans who simply want their team to win a game. Weird, right? And make their Sunday a little better. They don't deserve that. And that's the thing too. Like, most Vikings fans are super casual. Like, I include myself as a casual fan, but occasionally I spit out facts and stuff, right? But do it for Millie. Do it for Isabel, rocking that Tommy Kramer jersey. Let's go. Do it for Drunk Barb on TikTok. Right? All of these people, whether the Vikings are 0-3 or 3-0 or 2-14, they want their team to win a game and go out and give it the old college try. Right? That's what. I'm not. There's several different ways to be a fan. Actually, it's probably several thousand different ways to be a fan, and I'm not gonna ridicule someone for the way they want to cheer on their team. But when you attack someone else for the way that they cheer on their team, actually, wait, that's kind of hypocritical. Doesn't matter, man. I'm a hypocrite. But Heat Grim came in hot with a heat-seeking response. Sure, that's fair, but do not ridicule the fans that want the ultimate prize over making Sunday a little better. Besides winning 7-9 games a year with obviously flawed teams has proven to work, right? Lots of Super Bowl wins there. Okay, so again, I understand the logic. If it was directly correlated, sure, I'd be down to clown for that. Like, if Caleb Williams was guaranteed to win several Super Bowl titles for the Vikings, yes, absolutely in. But we have history on our side, right? And also the whole I want the ultimate prize. I mean, that's the whole thing about it. Like, people who want the team to tank think that they're seeing the forest through their trees. Like, there's a smugness. They probably like IPAs, that whole thing. Actually, I shouldn't say that, because hazy IPAs are pretty damn good. But the whole, I want my team to lose games because I want to see the future better. Again, if there was a direct correlation, sure, but that's not how things have worked historically. So, worst team since 2000. So you got the Bengals, the Jets, the Cardinals, the Commies, the Raiders, the Texans, the Jaguars, the Lions, and the Browns. Like, all bottom of the league. So zero goose egg. D'Angelo Russell Super Bowl titles among them, even though for the past 23 drafts, they have been near the top, right? So they've had top 5 picks. They've had the number 1 overall pick occasionally. They've had their shots at future franchise guys since they got Burrow, even though he's playing like ass this year. The Jets have had, Darnold and Sanchez, Kyler. The Raiders had Jamarcus Russell back in the day. The Texans ruined David Carr. David Carr. Derek Carr's the other jabroni. The Jaguars, of course, with Bordelais, although it looks like maybe they got it right with Trevor Lawrence, although he struggled this year. The Lions, I mean, Stafford won a Super Bowl, but it wasn't with the Lions, homeboy. And then the Browns have been the friggin' Browns, right? So, again, the whole, hey, I want the ultimate prize versus making Sunday a little bit better. I want the ultimate prize. Okay, these teams have had their shot at the ultimate prize. How's that worked out? How's that worked out? You could only say that in like the past couple of decades, tanking has worked out once. The 2011 Colts, after Peyton Manning had that neck thing, and then the Colts were rolling out like Curtis Painter. And I think Orlovsky was in there, maybe. But yeah, Andrew Luck, the number 1 overall pick, sucked for Luck in 2012. It's great. Injuries derailed his career because they couldn't protect him. And by the way, the GM was Ryan Grigson, who now is part of the GM Vikings front office. Great. But see, that's the thing too, where Kyle Sluter made a good point last night. I don't have the tweet in front of him, but it's basically saying Caleb Williams doesn't change things if they can't get it done in the trenches. And hey, you could put Caleb Williams, but if you still have Ed Ingram out there and Bradbury and Ezra, you're going to ruin his career. Like, if you put Justin Fields, if he had a great offensive line, may have saved his career in Chicago, but they didn't, and he's not. Right. So, and also this draft is another great example. So remember, Washington traded up heaven and earth with the Rams to go get RG3, and it didn't work out. But Kirk, the 4th round pick that year, certainly saved their bacon for a little bit. Also, quarterbacks drafted in the stratosphere since 2012, and we picked 2012 because that's when Kirk Cousins came in the league. So Luck, yes, dinged up, ended his career short, but would have been great, sure. RG3 bust. Bortles, bust. Jameson Mariota, 1 and 2, bust. Jared Goff, whatever. Carson Wentz, obvious bust. Mitchell Trubisky Ponder, bust, and especially since he went ahead of Mahomes at 10. Mayfield, bust. Darnold, bust. Kyler, Burrow is the only one of the 17 that you could say is a legitimate superstar, and he's been asked. Thank you this year. Lawrence, we'll see. Wilson, bust. Trey Lance, bust. Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, TBD. All right, so again, the hit rate up in the stratosphere is not what you want it to be. It isn't. And of the top 15 rated quarterbacks this season, so this really does stand out. Also, Jalen Hurts isn't even included in this list, and he was a second-round pick. But of the top 15 quarterbacks, only 2 were the first quarterback off the board in their respective drafts, and that was Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield, so you're not exactly excited about that. Oops, I spelled Jared Goff's name wrong. Well. And then 7 of 15 were non-first-round picks. 9 of 15 were the 3rd quarterback taken in their class or later, and 5 were day 3 selections. All right, so again, it doesn't matter necessarily where you draft, but if your guy's the guy, go get your guy, as evidenced by Patrick Mahomes. And like the whole you have to tank for a quarterback thing really gets nullified by the Chiefs, who traded up from 27 to 10, and it only costs them 27, a future first and a third. That's it. But again, this proves that quality quarterback play, it's a very inexact science. And also, some of these quarterbacks, like Kirk was the 8th quarterback in his class. Purdy was freaking 9th. And he was an afterthought. He was like, well, Niners were just like, let's spend a 7th round pick, the Mr. Irrelevant, so we don't have to sign him as a UDFA and give him more money. That's exactly what happened, man. And the Niners, luck boxed their way with Brock Purdy after they failed with Trey Lance, by the way. Josh Dobbs is actually playing good. He's been in Arizona for 2 seconds, man. Whatever. Gardner Minshew in for Richardson. He's 10th. Dak kind of sucks, but sometimes he doesn't. But 4th round pick, 8th quarterback taken in his class. So again, if there was a direct correlation, hey, if you draft this guy number 1, if you draft this guy number 2, you draft this guy number 3, he's going to be a future franchise quarterback. Sure, but there isn't. There is not. And yeah, I do think that Caleb Williams is going to be a stud in this league, but there's a non-zero chance that he busts. whether it's situation, whether it's there's several billion different factors that go into it. But could Caleb Williams, a sure shot prospect, not work out in the NFL? Yes. Could Drake May not work out? Yes. Could Penix not work out? Yes. Should Shedeur Sanders not work out? Yes. Absolutely. And then you get into, hey, asking your team to tank. So first off, Florida's never going to tank. Although if his defense gives up 475 yards of offense every single week, maybe that won't be an issue. But, of course, him and the allegations that Dolphins owner Stephen Ross offered him a little bit of cash to lose games on purpose to improve the draft status, I don't think that's going to fly with this coaching staff. Also, so you could say that, hey, maybe the Vikings don't intentionally lose games, but at the trade deadline, they could trade off Kirk Cousins. They could trade off Danielle Hunter. They could trade off player XYZ. You know who's not going to sit well with that? Justin Jefferson. So all Justin Jefferson wants to do is win. Like, the contract will take care of itself. The money is the money. But I truly believe one of the reasons why they haven't inked a deal yet is because there isn't a clear picture of the future. Jefferson loves Kirk Cousins. JJ hasn't been throwing himself the ball the first 3 years of his career. And absent that, if there isn't a clear path to finding the future franchise quarterback and prove that he is the guy, does JJ want to be here? Like, even if you draft a quarterback high, he could easily turn into Zach Wilson. He could easily turn into Trey Lance. He could easily do XYZ, right? So does he want to spend his prime catching hospital balls from Zach Wilson adjacent? Probably not. So that if you signal to Justin Jefferson that you want to lose games on purpose, he gone. He will demand a trade because all he wants to do is win, and he doesn't want to be part of an organization who would even have the inkling of losing games on purpose. Ain't going to happen, man. Plus, yeah, the whole thing about, there's a very low hit rate of top three quarterbacks, and also it is a little bit of a scattershot in terms of who the best quarterbacks in the league are right now. This is shaping up to be one of the deepest quarterback classes since 1983. When 6 quarterbacks were taken in the first round. I think that they could have that this year. I think there could be 10 quarterbacks taken in the first 3 rounds. I think that this is an extremely deep quarterback class. And, hey, if you miss out on Caleb Williams, that's fine. I mean, also the Bears may go 0-17, so they're going to take care of that for you. And then they're going to ruin Caleb Williams, and then they're going to be in the draft for a quarterback 3 years from now again. But, again, you can find your guy. Also, Mahomes proved that, hey, if you identify your guy, even if you're at the back of the pack, you can go get your guy, right? So, again, it comes back down to no. Just saying no to losing on purpose. And, again, the whole thing about the tankers is that, like, they feel like they're the smartest people in the room. I fully admit I'm not the smartest person in the room. I just sometimes spit out facts, right? And I'm a very casual fan. But people who say, hey, just lose games and you'll automatically have your guy, automatically have the ultimate prize. It's not true. It's not true. And history backs that up. So I'm with Millie and Isabel and Drunken Barb. I just want my team to win a game on Sunday, man. That's it. That's all, babe. That's all. But your thoughts are thoughts. Why tanking doesn't work. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol Production Value.